So it's been a while since I sat down and did this sit down videos. I If you haven't seen my video of Little Fish, I hope you check it out. I'm still definitely learning. Um, I feel like I've getting better, but obviously there's way more room for me to improve. Um, so yeah, I hope you watch it. I feel like the next time I do a video like this, after everything's said and done, I do want to go back to get the chef to do some voiceover, or at least have a longer discussion with them and try to overlay a lot of the B-roll over some of the things what the chef wants to talk about. Because how I laid out the video is that the first and last part of the video was of Alex with his sit down of him talking about how he felt about getting a nomination for the JB award for the hospitality, and which both Alex and I are also very awkward on camera and talking. So as you haven't noticed in these videos, but yeah, I feel like the next time I do a food video, I probably want to try to get them have to do a longer sit down take. I definitely need to create better questions and have them see a card in somewhere in the background so they can see what I'm going to be asked. But try to make it more organic so it doesn't look like it's just reading a card after card after card, but it's just create like a natural flow. Or I could, have it in my mind so I could just try to have a natural conversation while asking the chef those questions. This way, it doesn't look like the video is just the chef talking to the camera as if there's no one there. Like how Bon Appetit has his videos where the chef is standing outside the door announcing what time it is and they gotta get started, but come on in, and that's where I kind of feel like that's kind of, it's cool, but also kind of, I don't know, kind of wonky in a way. So I guess like as a solo person, for me to do that, it seems better that way, because you would probably want to get like a host or like a person to go and and just follow the person having that discussion. So that's like another thing I'm definitely thinking about in terms of trying to make these food videos or restaurant videos more interesting, not just with having cool B-roll of them plating their dish or of them prepping or something like that. So yeah, these are some of the, having a stronger or more concise interview, so that I not only does it create a more compelling story about the person and their team and their restaurant they're working at or at our own, and to also be able to overlay it or overlay B-roll over it, so not only do you get like music playing that's akin to the rest of the restaurant vibe, but you also hear from the chef what this specific dish is about, how they go about sourcing, or how they go about plating, or the story why this specific dish is so unique or personal to them, because someone could just list off their techniques and how they could shoot or not shoot. they're not doing photography or videography, but no, basically I'd rather hear them talk about their personal story around a dish rather than their technique of how they prep and cook, because a story around their food is, to me personally, is way more interesting than learning about the technique. although technique is important, I kind of feel that the story about why that dish is important to them to be way more fascinating. So that's another thing with what I want to improve. It's not so much with my camera moves and technique, which I do want to improve, and I'll get to that too. But also try to create like an organic discussion with the chef, so they can create more. Sorry, I have like mucus. A more engaging discussion about who they are, what their team's about, what their how they relate to the food that they're showcasing in the restaurant. So that's one thing I definitely want to improve. The other thing is, as I mentioned with like camera movement, is like I noticed when I was shooting, aside from using a better tripod, because I put my camera with the DZ90 on one of my lighter tripod, and even though I kept it locked off in focus and it was on sticks, you could definitely feel the vibrations in the footage, because someone was, or myself was, just walk behind it, and it had this micro shakes in the footage. But not just that, like I recently did buy a slider. I do have a manual slider, but because of my motions that like pushing and pulling and that sort, it would have been like a kind of a herky-jerky kind of movement, and I don't want to do that. So I did buy a motorized slider from iFootage. It was a new one that I got bit by the gas. But I feel like I'll eventually have to find a used RS4 Pro or RS3 Pro, because my current DJI Ronin gimbal is the RS3, but it's not compatible with that slider because it doesn't have the power pin ports on the sides. So that I have to upgrade that one too, which sucks. But anyway, yeah, I want to bring in a slider so I could create motion. So it's not just, although I do like locked off images or videos, because as you notice from my videos on here or on my Instagram, is that it's a lot of it is focused on being locked off, but it's really more on the composition of what's in the frame and how things are moving in there, aside from the camera movement. So I want to add camera movement into my work, so it creates more engaging videos. So that's why I bought a slider. Should come in tomorrow or Saturday, so I can play around and work on that aspect of the video. And then obviously, not just obviously, get better with my audio capture. So I learned from a follower on Instagram to put one of my Rode mics and put it behind the subject in terms of like food or drink that was pouring, to also capture audio that's close to the subject and have the mic boomed above it. This way have a cleaner capture. But it is hard to do all that on my own in a restaurant, especially by excuse me, especially when you're close to the stove. It's really hard to try and find a place to put the mics, especially in like Little Fish, where the space is super tight. So yeah, probably will have to buy a boom arm for the audio, and I'll probably just use my audio capture, which I should really use more often to capture the audio better. It goes straight in there, but my worry is that I will have to remember how to sync it in when it comes time to post process. So that's something I have to practice and learn how to do. So yeah, on the night of the actual, like, not actual, but like when I went back in to get the dining scenes, how I built my rig, I put the F-38 fall cam plates on the bottom, and when I tried to put the Tilta Nano 3 or Nano 2 up, it kept it the base plate wasn't tight, so it kept on moving. So I had to I had to take off all the Nano, the motor, the focus wheel, and just use the ring on the lens to focus, which wasn't, you know, I made do with what I had, but it definitely made for harder focus pulls. So I went back to my Manfrotto plate. It's way more secure and stable. So I feel like before that shoot I should have tried out that rig build to see whether I like that build or not. And because learning on the go as I was there, I was like, this isn't very good. I'm glad it was spec work, so I did learn my lesson. So yeah, that's the other lesson too. Pre-build it, build my build before a shoot, and see what kind of quirks that could come up, so I could quickly eliminate that before the actual shoot. So yeah, that's what I learned. So the three things I want to learn and do better: organize my thoughts, so I can have more concise discussions with the chef, owner, and whoever I'll be interviewing, so they could create a really strong, they could have a better interview experience, to use more motion in my work, so it creates more interesting footage, and better audio capture, so I can monitor my audio so it definitely sounds better, and for like make sure my rig works before a shoot. So yeah, that's this video. I don't know what else to talk about. Yeah, like talking to camera is so weird and awkward that I don't know. And now I'm noticing I have to buy more. I'll say female. MPF batteries, because I'm using a DJI transmitter and receiver. My receiver's battery is almost dry, and I just charged his batteries. So I guess that's telling me it's time to call it quits and turn this off. But yeah, that's this video. Alright, peace out.